Alrighty, we are in. Now to start off, I'm going to go ahead and just rename this to YouTube board because I actually have a second board that I played this on. We're going to go in, and we're going to make sure that the board type is on Hexland because that's what we're playing on. Make sure all settings all good, do the usual cheats off, all that, and starting to create the new board. Now, while we go ahead and wait for this to load real quick, I just want to say real quick, thank you all so much for 50 plus subscribers. It's been forever since I've been. My brain is not braining right now. Just ignore it. But anyways, thank you all for 50 subscribers. I highly appreciate it. We have grown so much I've grown so much of this channel. And and speaking of which, it's that tip in the corner right there. If you have not already if you're not already in it, we have a Discord server. I'd recommend you go watch it. Not watch it, join it. We usually, me and a bunch of people usually chat on there. If you would like to come and hang out, we would love to have you on. We would love to have you on there, and it's always nice having more people on there. Alrighty, we are in the ward now. Just taking a quick look around. Yep, it's a pretty good spawn. But while I was looking, I did end up seeing a waypoint. I went over and activated the waypoint. And after that, I went ahead and saw some celery distance, went ahead and broke it, and started to go ahead and break some seeds, going break some seeds, which actually getting hemp seed on the first one was really lucky. And went ahead and looked at quest. Went to the info tab, went ahead and played all that. All the research papers, those are going to be stuff for in the future, and I'll show you in the future. Went over to basic tech, and as most quest books, they're going to be like, alright, go get some wood, so I did. I went ahead and head back to base and made a crafting table real quick to go ahead and make myself some basic tools, a pickaxe and a shovel, to go ahead and start expanding our area so we have more room for like miners and machinery and stuff. Also went ahead and made myself a chest so I could go ahead and do a quick inventory dump, get rid of a bunch of stuff, and started construction on the very first mine. It only takes 4 logs, 4 planks, and 1 wooden pickaxe. Not stone, not anything, just wood. And our very first mine is created. Isn't it glorious? Anyways, enough chit chat. Let's made myself a new wooden pickaxe because I was using miner. Started going ahead and digging out some more area for miner. And one nice thing about this vein miner is that you can use different modes for mining. So you can do like what I usually use is I do like a small square 3x3, which is a 3x3 tunnel in front of you. It's really helpful clearing a lot of space. Went ahead and made myself my first furnace and got an upgrade, a stone pickaxe. Went ahead and checked this off in the questing, as usual, and started working on making some tier 1 support frames to make a tier 1 miner. Then they're very cheap. They're only a plank and 8 sticks, which is like a log and 1 plank. Made a bunch of those and a structure placer, which did use my miner, but it does help with placing down mines very quick. Started to go ahead and work on digging out some area for that so we can actually go ahead and place down the miner. And then at this point, I was being very stupid. I don't know what I was doing. I was using something correctly. Finally went in my inventory, looked at the description, realized what I was doing. Still being an idiot. Finally realized what I was doing and actually did it correctly. Realized I didn't have enough, so I made some more support frames. Used it again to finish up the frame. Realized I needed even more support frames. Made some more support frames. Placed them down real quick, which didn't take too long. And now we have the basic frame for our tier 1 mine, which we'll be making a lot of. Went ahead and turned this one into a cobblestone farm because we're going to need a lot to make a massive furnace, which I'll show you what it is later. But I went ahead and started working on planting down some trees, started to have those grow. Yes, you can torque to grow it in this. I just find that mod really funny. Went ahead and made another miner and a chest so we can go ahead and actually start using the miner. And now I also made myself plan and place down my furnace, made myself some torches, and also finally, activated the miner after having the frame up there. It is going to be very slow at the beginning, but you can make caps for it to go on the corners, and then increases its speed. For the meantime, we don't have any unlocked, but we will in a second, actually. So went back into my quest book, and go ahead and, check off some stuff, and started working on making some fence posts, which will be the very first, like, tier 1 caps, which they're not great, but it's definitely helpful. Also went ahead and made some torches, decided to go ahead and lit up the area. And finally placed down my sugarcane by the water so we can go ahead and have those growing for paper in the future, which I'll show you in the future, obviously, what it is. Went ahead and started placing down some dirt so we can go ahead and expand our area, clear out this ocean. You have a bunch of room for miners. Also, one nice thing about this mod pack is that if you're right in front of chests, you can shift, right click, and pick them up if in an empty hand, and move them without having to break them. So I went ahead and did that, moved them around, and now I'm gonna go ahead and work on making a prospector's pickaxe. A prospector's pickaxe is a really helpful tool to get like minerals and stuff to start making machines, because ores don't spawn in this. So real quick, made a stone pickaxe, smelted it, made my fence gates to go ahead and cap it, and also made my prospector's pickaxe by smelting it. Went ahead and placed down the fence gates to go ahead and upgrade the miner, usual stuff. And went ahead and looked at the miner's catalog to go ahead and see what it takes to make a tree absorber. A tree absorber is literally just a miner, but for trees. Went ahead and worked on making some more furnaces for the jumbo furnace in the future. Annoyingly enough, this takes almost 3 stacks, but I was able to get it done after a long time of waiting. Went ahead and made it, Now the jumbo smelter done, I can actually add jumbo smelters into it by smelting 27 furnaces in them. Anyways, went ahead and went to the miner and upgraded the fence posts to stone blocks, and grabbed some colored stone to use with the prospector's pickaxe to turn them into coal and lapis for tier 2 coal and lapis miners. Went ahead and finished up the tree farm, but me being an idiot, I ended up, it wasn't working. Look, the leaves were built a block too low, so I had to go back and fix that mistake. Lovely. Anyways, while at it, also went ahead and made a barrel, not a chest, a barrel. Ended up saying I used to use chests. You're supposed to actually use barrels, because chests you have to break or you have to use a hopper with. So I went ahead and real quick made myself a barrel, placed it underneath there, and I don't plan on upgrading the miner because, as you'll see, holy crap, does this thing produce, even without caps. Anyways, apart from that, went ahead and fixed the tree. Now it's proper and it's actually producing stuff, and it produces logs, leaves, and sticks. All really nice resources to have, and will definitely all be used in the future, other than maybe leaves, but still. Anyways, went ahead and made a jumbo furnace inside a jumbo furnace, and completed off the basic tech tree. And of course, that jumbo furnace will be used in that furnace. Anyways, went ahead and went to the coal and lapis one, checked off those tasks, and started working on also the gravel. And you'll see why it's tab useful later on. But I went ahead and started working on coal and lapis and working towards CO2 support frames, and then conveyor belts for automation in the future would be really nice. Apart from that, I went ahead, so to actually make the ore, it's 4 fragments surrounded by colored stone. Very cheap. You need 36 each. I ended up starting to work on a coal one. I ended up doing 32. Me being an idiot, didn't realize it. You actually need 36 per miner, so, that was kind of stupid of me. But we ignore that. Anyways, went ahead and built that down, and now I'm actually able to go ahead and get that working. Although I forgot to grab a chest, so I had to make a chest. I in the future I'll fix that, but jeez, place that on it. There we are. Anyways, went ahead and started working on doing some other stuff. As you can tell, yeah, the wood is working great. It gives me a crap ton of wood, and usually works pretty good. Went ahead and started working on making the lapis miner, because for those who are unaware, lapis can actually be turned into cap blocks, which are better than stone. So I went ahead and started working on that to make some lapis cap blocks. And while I was clearing an area for it, I also found some clay, and I dig that out because I need a bunch of clay, gravel, and sand for a future quest for some stuff. But for the meantime, it's not really needed, but it will be for the future. Anyways, went ahead and finished up the lapis miner. Of course, made the miner. But as I'm being an idiot, I forgot to make the damn chest. So I went ahead and made the chest real quick, placed that on top, and it worked out really great. And it doesn't get as much as dirt, but it will. Anyways, Went ahead and grabbed the lapis from the smelter, went ahead and checked off this quest, and now I can start working towards conveyor belts, which are really cheap actually. We need a lot for automation. There are 4 slabs, 4 free. There are 3 slabs, 3 coal, and 2 lapis, and they give you 24 each. It is really nice to go ahead and have. Went and grab some lapis, grab some coal, smelted them down. When I start working on that. And while I was at it, I also, while I was waiting for it to smelt, I went ahead and dig out some more area for a bunch more miners, which was definitely needed. Took a break from mining the dirt to go ahead and work on making some conveyor belts to start automating some of the miners to go ahead and have even greater production. And I also started working on making conveyor belts and the different variations of them, and after I was done doing that, I finished up the coal and lapis chapter, which honestly is pretty small anyhow, and started working towards coal and tin and basic technium ingot, which I need a lot of. And speaking of which, I went ahead and placed down one of the auto smelters to actually start automating it, so I could go ahead and have effectively infinite coal without having to manage it, and it only took me about like 20 minutes, like 3 iterations, which I mean, still annoying, but you know, I was kind of being stupid at the time. But anyways, didn't take me too long. Also did the same for lapis. The coal just outputs into the coal miner to fuel that, and the lapis one, and I want lapis for the next level of cap blocks, so I can cap the rest of my miners and go ahead and have them in either greater production, because some of these are being quite slow. I ended up taking a break from that and actually adding in a second coal miner to the backside of the original one, so we could double the coal production. But when I was doing it, I was kind of being an idiot. I should have used the structure placer. That would have been much faster. So it took me a bit longer than usual, but I ended up getting done. Ended up smelting up some extra lapis, but the actual lapis miner was being a bit slow. Ended up making lapis from that, and also just grabbed the rest of the lapis out in that jumbo furnace and back and started working on capping off all the miners of lapis. And it only took me about like 20 minutes, I would say. It didn't take me long. Capped all of them in lapis, nice and upgraded now. Went ahead and took my extra dirt that I had and started doing some land filling in the ocean to have even more space for miners. And went ahead and also went back into the quest book and checked off the clay and sand and all that. That is what I needed the clay and sand gravel for, to make grout, to make coke bricks, to make a coke oven, because I need coke coal for a multitude of reasons, and in the future I'm going to need absolutely a ton of it, so I need to go ahead and start working towards that. It didn't take me too long to work on, and I went ahead and took down the cobblestone miner, ended up disassembling the whole thing, which might seem a bit unorthodox, but I did it for a reason. I'm moving it to where I started doing some land filling in, so I could go ahead and have space for even more, especially since my base is starting to get cluttered, so I want to go ahead and move this out. Luckily, it did not take too long. After it was done, I also added in 2 more to the side of it, so I have like triple the production of cobblestone. Anyway, I started working towards the research paper, copper and tin, which was needed for like a lot of things. Copper and tin is very nice to have. I also needed it for the next tier of miners. So went ahead and finished up the copper and tin research paper, so I could finally get copper and tin via the prospector's pickaxe on the colored stone. One nice thing about the quest book that I ended up finding out pretty quickly is that, let's say I don't want like coal and lapis, which I don't, but I only want copper and tin, I can deactivate the coal and lapis in the tab in the quest tree, and that tab also allows you to buy like nodes of ore so you can get like exactly the amount you need for miner if you want to. I don't actually end up in the series, but you can if you want to. When I disabled the coal and lapis and made sure copper and tin was enabled, because I only need that starting off with. Anyways, I had a bunch of dirt left over, so I used it to fill in the ocean a good bit, so I had more room for copper and tin and coal miners. Anyway, speaking of which, I went ahead and started working on moving the coal miners over to the new area I just made, and I think I ended up making about like 3, maybe 4 coal miners. Didn't take too long. And then after I made the frames, I went back and disassembled the old miners and took their coal ore to use them. Also took the cobblestone from the cobblestone miners to make some jumbo furnaces, because I'm going to need a lot in the future, but also it's just nice to have some to upgrade a few. Anywho, after that I went ahead and took my copper fragments, or nuggets as I call them, made some copper ore and some tin ore, and also while I was at it, made the tier 3 core frame to finish off the copper and tin tier, so I just had technium left for this video. So I started working on making grout, coal coke, and like a coal coke oven and all of that. Just a bunch sorry, YouTube, deeply. Anyhow, other than that, I went ahead and made some tier 3 frames to go ahead and make the remainder of the miners actually for this video. And it will be the copper and tin miners and just copper and tin. Anyways, it took me about like 25 minutes to make, and I ended up getting them done pretty fast. Anyways, I went ahead and I made some bronze earlier, so I went ahead and took it and made it into an engineer's hammer, which is used for the coke oven, and you can actually also use it on chests to like rotate them and a few other item blocks and stuff like that. Anywho, I went ahead and took a break from working on the coke oven to automate. I needed to take the output from the coal and put it into the copper and tin so they will automatically feed. So it took me about 10 minutes. Didn't take me too long. Anywho, I also went ahead and added in a third copper mine, which I actually already had the framing down. I just needed to make some copper ore and actually place it down and also make a miner for it, and then I can take some conveyor belts and hook it up to the rest of them. Anyhow, went ahead and made myself the coke oven, used the engineer's hammer on it, and now I can make coke, and I can also make, I believe it's called kerosene, I believe, well, excuse me, it's called Creole, and I can make coke and Creole, which Creole is going to be used a lot. We started to work on making the base crafting table, or the basic crafting table, which is going to be needed for a lot of stuff, but it also allows me to do some automation. Anywho, went ahead and finished up some quests, made it and I worked on treated planes, which is what the Creole is used for, and just literally I think it's all used for that I'm aware of, but you do end up getting a lot of it, but there is an upgrade in features that will help with that. Anywho, took some of my dirt and made a area to have a 4th coal miner because coal production was getting a bit low, so I went ahead and placed down some frames, down another one. Anywho, I also had some tin left over, and tin is actually usable as a cap block, so I went ahead and replaced the lapis on the coal ones with tin. You can actually use copper, but copper oxidizes. Once it oxidizes, it doesn't actually affect the miner anymore. It goes back to space state, so I prefer to use tin instead. Anyhow, you can actually take 4 buckets and turn them into a jerry can, which is like 10 buckets, and I usually end up using that for the Creole, and then you can still use in crafting recipes and all that, but it works really good, and that's what I usually use. Anywho, I went ahead and made the advanced crafting table, excuse me, the basic one, which only requires like 2 crafting tables and a bunch of coke, and it can also be automated by taking 4 hoppers and putting your table of choice in it and throwing in 4 hoppers. It doesn't matter what the table is. I believe the crafting recipe is the same for all of them. It's just 4 hoppers. Doesn't matter what they are. It says 4 hoppers. Anyways, to make the actual advanced one, it's 2 basic regular crafting tables, and just used in place of crafting tables. It's a bit expensive with the coal coke, which does mean if it's the same for all of the recipes, we're gonna need a lot of it because, yeah, it's 7 for basic. That's pretty expensive. Anyways, and again, the automated like 4 hoppers, but still. Anyways, end up getting the automation done and can start working towards making the techium ingots, which are going to be used a lot in here, and also the tier 4 support frames, but I can go ahead and start the automation of techium ingots, and the crafting recipe of them is it expensive? Holy crap, it is expensive. It is also a 5x5 grid as well, so you need the special crafting table to actually produce it. But either way, it's a really expensive recipe, and you usually put 2 chests on top of an automated advanced crafting table in one, and then start automating. So anyways, started working on making the techium ingots. It's 4 clay, 4 smooth stone, 8 bronze, 4 coal coke, 4 treated planks, and 1 lapis. It sounds like a lot, but in the future, it will get easier to the point where I'm probably going to end up automating it in the next episode. We're getting, at the end of this one, I can tell. Anyways, went ahead and made some bronze, and I was able to go ahead and make the very first techium ingot, which it uses 8 per, which is expensive, but you get, 8, per smelt, I believe. Anyways, went ahead and made the very first techium ingot, and I believe the only one in this episode. But anyways, now that the recipe is also in there, I can actually start working on automating it. So I can just chuck stuff in the top, and it'll automatically put them in the right slot. Anyways, to finish out the episode for today, I went ahead and made the tier 4 support frames, which will complete the chapter. And they're actually quite cheap. It's the usual crafting recipe, but it's 1 bronze in the middle. It's actually quite cheap, especially if you have the miner. Went and did that, and completed the basic tech game chapter and all the quest for today's episode. Anyways, real quick, just want to take a quick look around the base. We got that lapis miner, and we have it hooked up to a auto smelter. I am going to move it in the next episode, but for now it sits here, and I just fuel it with coal every once in a while. We got that sugar cane farm that I started at the start. We still have that tree farm without the caps. I don't plan on capping it with how much wood it gives if we maybe in the future. We got a couple chests that I ended up putting down. They just work great. Keeps all sorted. We got that jumbo furnace. We got that coal coke oven as well. And then we got that the automatic crafting and all that. We have free, and in the end we have free cobblestone, 4 coal, 2 tin, and free copper miners. The coal, it gets smelted and put into the jumbo furnaces for the others, and then copper and tin's also automatic. Anyways, that's the whole thing. Hope you guys liked the video. Thank you for watching in, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day, and peace.